Hey, it's your boy as well, Shawn the Wonder here, and let's talk about what's coming in 2019. So 2019 has some amazing games lined up, and here are some of the most anticipated. First up is Kingdom Hearts 3, which releases on January 25th for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I've been waiting for this game since I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time in I think that was '04, and when I saw that secret ending. At the time, of course, like everybody else, I had no idea that the secret ending trailer was actually for Birth by Sleep and not actually for Kingdom Hearts 3. There have been a bunch of spin-offs since Kingdom Hearts 2. I know you had Birth by Sleep, like I mentioned. Ari Chain of Memories, I was in between 1 and 2. What else? 358 over 2 days. And Dream Drop Distance, and then 0.8 Fragmentary Passage, which was the last one I believe that came out. Oh, I think there was one called Back X Cover or something, I think. Yeah, but all those spin-offs, well, they're sort of considered mainline games too, because all those storylines are going to tie into Kingdom Hearts 3. But I'm just gonna play 3 like I did with 2, just mainly for the gameplay, because I didn't understand the story halfway anyway in 2, and it's gonna be even worse for 3 if it's including all those spin-offs that I never played. I did want to play Birth by Sleep one time, but money and all that junk. Yeah, and I think Square Enix is expecting you to, since they just released some remasters of those games for PS3 and PS4. But I'll be going in blind, and I'm perfectly okay with that. So we've still been waiting a while for this game, though. I think Square Enix first revealed Kingdom Hearts 3 back in 2013 or 14, I believe, and it's just coming out now. I was actually surprised they didn't change the due date for this again, because Square, as you know, has a history of constantly delaying games and announcing stuff too early. At one point, I stopped caring about this game just because I waited so long for it. But with the recent marketing, got my interest in it a little bit more. But there's some things I'm hoping that they put in Kingdom Hearts 3 that was missing in 2, like platforming and exploration. Kingdom Hearts 1, while 2 heavily improved upon like the combat, Kingdom Hearts 1 actually had a little bit more to give, since it also offered platforming and exploration. I mean, the levels were structured in a more non-linear sense in 1, because you had platforming that would take you to different areas, and then later on in the game, when you gain new abilities like high jump or glide, you could reach areas that you weren't able to before, and also obtain out-of-reach treasures. And I can't remember if Kingdom Hearts 2 had 101 Dalmatians in it, but if they did, it wasn't as memorable as it was in 1, as finding all the ones in the first game. Yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, like tech points. I also thought that Kingdom Hearts 1, it gave you more incentive to try to strategize in your fights more than Kingdom Hearts 2 did, at least in the basic version of Kingdom Hearts 2. Because with the tech points, they give you just a little bit more experience points if you blocked an attack properly, or countered somebody, or deflected an attack back. They first teach you that in Destiny Islands, and then you just improve upon it as the game goes on. But yeah, that was a dope way. I don't know why they dropped that for 2. And actually, I don't like the dodge and the block in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's just sort of weird. I don't know. I think it's just the animation I don't like. I think it actually works the same, but yeah, it's whatever. What else? Oh yeah, the gummy ship. Actually, the gummy ship was improved into like the actual gummy ship segments, but I just felt like customizing ships was a lot more fun and interesting in the first game than it was in 2. As we see in Kingdom Hearts 3, the actual gummy ship gameplay is even better than it was in 2. It might be more akin to these side-scroller shooters or vertical shooters that you see in the arcades, but just in a 3D environment. as the story goes. Well, I hope the story would be simple, but just given what we know already, that's going to include stuff in the spin-offs. I already know it's going to be a complicated mess, and I'm okay with it because I'm just going to play with the gameplay. I already made my mind up about that. Other than that, this is just a slight nitpick, but I don't like how the trios look in the Toy Story world. They all have the same toy design to them. I don't know, they could have switched it up or something. I mean, have Donald be have Goofy be like one of those toy soldiers or something, and I don't know about the other two off the top of my head, but yeah, it's like in Halloween Town, all three of them weren't like the same thing. Like Goofy was a Frankenstein monster, Donald was like this mummy with a missing stomach, and like a ghost mummy, I guess, and Sora was, I don't know, whatever the hell Sora was. But yeah, it did seem, I don't know, like lazy when designing their Toy Story designs. And that's just a small nitpick. I know there's a Monsters Inc. world I saw a little bit of. I think that was better. All three of them had different designs for the Monsters Inc. world. I haven't seen any Big Hero 6 footage yet. I know that world is in there, but yeah, I stopped watching footage for the game for a while. Big Hero 6, I know there's gonna be Tangled in it, Hercules. I hope there's some other dope worlds in there. Oh, I know Pirates of the Caribbean is back. Anything on top of my head I want. I'd heard they already had Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is my favorite Disney movie. But I think it was already in like Birth by Sleep, I heard, so they probably not gonna bring it back for this. Wreck-It Ralph world would be dope for this, but considering Ralph is already, I think he's a summon in this game, he might not be, even though that don't necessarily mean anything because you had the Genie as a summon in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and there's Agrabah in the game. But yeah, I hope Wreck-It Ralph, and it just makes sense because that's a video game world and you're playing a video game character. They could do some fourth wall breaking stuff with that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm sort of excited for it. Like I said, it's sort of the steam left off for me for this game, but yeah, I'll eventually cop this. Next up is Resident Evil 2. This is my most anticipated of the year, along with the next game we're going to talk about. Resident Evil 2, or Remake 2 as the gaming community likes to call it, also releases on January 25th for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This is the second time Capcom has remade a Resident Evil. I never played the remake of Resident Evil 1, but I definitely will be playing Resident Evil 2. If I'm wrong, I believe the first Resident Evil 2 released in 1998. I haven't played that many survival horror games, but RE2 is my favorite in the genre. I know, I think Resident Evil 4 is better, but RE4 isn't much of a survival horror game as it is a third-person shooter with some horror elements. But with Resident Evil 2, I had a lot of good memories playing this back in the day. I think I started off just watching my older brother play this like at least a few times, because I know I saw like all of the scenario campaigns and the true ending before I had a chance to play it, and he also locked the mission modes with Honk and Tofu as well. But I actually never saw any of the extra costumes. I didn't even find out there was like extra costumes until last year. I was wondering if maybe the N64 version didn't have it or something, but yeah, I had played this on the N64. I think it was the first game that we played that actually required the expansion pack. But yeah, I watched it mostly back then because actually the game kind of scared me. Like, yo, I hate those spiders in the sewers, man. Those really get me. Oh man. It has some couple of jump scares in there too, but yeah, I really love the atmosphere in Resident Evil 2, and I really hope this remake replicates it and improves upon it to a great. It looks like it's proven upon it to a great degree so far. The E3 demo last year was spectacular, and I held off from watching more gameplay footage, so I wanted to be fresh when I play it for the first time. Remake 2 just won't be a simple one-for-one remake. They will change some of the layouts of the police station. I think we already saw, like, the lobby has changed a bit. They'll change some story elements as well. We already could tell they changed some of the gameplay, as the camera perspective is the third person this time rather than being from a fixed angle. Yeah. I just wish they kept Leon's voice for the RE4 voice actor. I'm not sure if that's the same one from 2. It's been so long since I played 2. But yeah, it looks really, really dope. I can't wait to play this. Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is my most anticipated game of the year. I mean, the demo that came out last year looks so damn good, man. But I was interested from the jump once I saw that this was an adaptation of a black man's tabletop game. Because really, there's not much representation of us in the industry. But that demo really sold me on the game. It was just so detailed. It had great atmosphere. The combat looked okay. Yeah, it was mainly just the atmosphere in the game, really. And the little bit of storyline, well, I gotta learn more about it. But for what we saw in the game, it looked dope. And I'm just really eager to play RPG. I haven't really played any Western RPG since Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Way back then, and I didn't never even get to finish it. I just played like a tiny bit of it. But yeah, there's not that many science fiction RPGs actually. I think only big ones like Mass Effect that I could think of off the top of my head. But yeah, this is by CD Projekt Red, who create the Witcher games. And Cyberpunk 2077 still doesn't have an official release date. It might come out this year. Still not sure yet. If it does, I'm thinking towards the end of the year, in the fall, September, between like from September to December is my guess. Actually, I don't think that many big games come out December. I think Smash is like an exception. I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, I'm also really interested in the creation of the game. As I said in my last video on the demo itself, which I'll link up right here, it looks it looks really dope, man. I just want to create like a cyborg black girl with like a dragon tattoo with some Bantu nuts or something. Should look fire. But yeah, not much else I can say about it. I really want to play it. Next up on the list is Control by Remedy Entertainment. So Control is basically a third-person shooter with some telekinesis powers in there. I think the game is published by 505 Games. Main character is a woman. I think she's supposed to be a detective or something. I don't know. I just know that the game looked tight and whatnot. Wargroove is another game that I'm waiting for. It's going to be for Nintendo Switch, I believe. Wargroove will be for the Nintendo Switch, and I think PC. Oh shit, I should have checked before. But yeah, Wargroove is inspired by the Advance Wars series, which Nintendo stopped making. I don't know, it's been years ago. They had some games for the Advance, and then I think just a couple for the Nintendo DS, and I didn't get any games for the 3DS. I'm really eager with it because I like the Advance Wars, even though I still have not beat that game to this day because that game is fucking hard. And I got messed up at the end of the game because I got the 3 worst possible characters to tackle the final boss, Stern. You know, one of these days I might beat it. Who knows? I just don't. I think I will. I don't like having the game unbeaten. I might have to start back over from scratch though. But yeah, really eager to play this game. But that's all I have to say about it. Next on the list is Bloodstained. And this is by Keiji Inafune. The creator, well, I can't believe. I think he just worked on a lot of Castlevania games. He might be the creator. I forgot to check on that. But yeah, Bloodstained. This game been in development for a while. They released a game last year, an 8-bit game called Curse of the Moon. I heard it was pretty good too. But the main game is scheduled to come out sometime this year. Still don't have an official release date for that yet, though. The Last of Us Part 2 is also another game scheduled for this year, but no specific release date as of yet. When I first heard that it was making a sequel to Last of Us, I sort of didn't want it because I thought The Last of Us ended fine. Like, we didn't need a follow-up to it, but the gameplay looks kind of fun, so I'll play it. I guess I'll play it whenever I get around to it. It's not like high on my list or anything, but I'll give it a play eventually. Bayonetta 3 is on here. Now, we don't know. I don't know for sure at all if this is gonna come out 2019. To be honest, it's probably gonna be 2020. But yeah, since we only got a little teaser trailer for it last year. But Bayonetta 2 was one of my favorite games when I played it back in 2017. It's probably going to end up being my favorites of all time. It has a really good combat system. I really love the combat system, man. And she's probably going to be one of my mains for Smash Brothers once I get around to getting a Nintendo Switch and a TV so I can play it. Yeah. Indivisible by Lab Zero Games is one of my most anticipated of the year. This game was first announced, I believe, in 2015, and it's still slated with a 2019 release date. We're not sure when, but yeah, this comes from the creator of Skullgirls, the fighting game that released back in 2012, which is probably one of my favorite fighting games. And Indivisible looks like it's also going to be a stellar quality. This is a 2D RPG game by the studio. It has sort of a Metrovania feel to it, as well as there's platforming segments in the game, and you could gain new abilities to go back to areas you couldn't reach before. But speaking of the RPG gameplay, I did play the prototype that released back in 2016. I think it was about 3 years ago when it released, and I had a lot of fun with it. I spoke to the creator of the game. I think he posts on some video game boards, asking some questions. Actually, it might not be as much as an RPG as I thought, because I remember talking to him. He said there's really no weapons you could buy to upgrade your stats, and I think I asked about like the stats in the game, such as like HP, defense, strength, magic, etc. I believe he said those aren't even really in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I spoke to the guy. That was like at least 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, I hope that's not the case though, because really the thing that makes an RPG to me is the stats first and foremost, manipulating the stats. Otherwise, it's just like a turn-based. It just has it feels like it's just an action adventure game with just turn-based combat, which I guess is something different. But just the RPG nerd in me wants them stats. You feel me? But yeah, hopefully this game actually comes out this year, because I've been on that RPG itch for like forever. So hopefully it does. The final on this list is Dreams. Well, actually, Dreams might actually top out Resident Evil 2 and Cyberpunk 2077, because I'm of a creative. I spent so many hours on Little Big Planet back in the day, man. And actually, I should have kept on doing it. Like, I played that game so much, mostly creating levels on it. And I showed my brother one time and his friend. And they told me that stuff really didn't account for anything. But then Media Molecule came out at least twice and said that they hired people who designed levels from it. So I probably should have kept that, and maybe I'll be working for Media Molecule right now. But yeah, Dreams is basically Little Big Planet, but on a whole nother scale. Like, you could make games, period, not just platformers. But even in Little Big Planet, you can go outside the box and create other genres. I remember seeing, I think it was a level for Little Big Planet 3 was basically a first-person shooter. Now, I can't even imagine how you even do something like that. And Dreams has way more options than that. I even stopped, I never even got Little Big Planet 2 because I just thought I'd spend way too much time in playing it rather than doing it work, because it came out while I was still in college. And Little Big the first little bit playing it was wild before I had started like a 4-year university. I was going to a community college at the time. But yeah, Dreams, I really want to play that. It seems more like it's a game engine than an actual game, the way they're marketing it. Yeah, I'm really eager for that, but that's all of my excuse me. Those are all of my anticipated games for 2019. So let me know in the comments below what y'all looking forward to this year. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all guys next time. Bye!